Is founder, CEO, startup coaching helpful or worthless? We're going to try to answer that in the next 5 minutes or so. Starting a business literally could be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, especially for first-time starters. So sometimes the question is, how helpful is advice? How helpful is coaching? Advice and coaching are two different things. Hopefully with the coach, you're getting an experienced past founder, maybe founded many businesses. And we're going to go through the checklist here. Is it something that you should consider? Is it helpful? Is it a waste of time? Are you faster doing it on your own? You're the expert. Why do you need a coach? Those are often questions that people bring up. The first thing is that having a coach, you're going to manage uncertainty. So when you start off, you're going to have a lot of questions in your mind. Am I working on the right things? You're going to start off on product, but then you're going to have to move into operations and accounting and all these other things that you probably don't really want to be working on. But you may have to at the beginning. You don't have anybody else to delegate to. During that time, you're going to have some uncertainty. Am I launching at the right price? Could my margins be higher? What marketplace or customers should I be marketing to and selling to first? How should I position the brand? And you may have all these ideas in your mind. You probably have a very, very firm idea of what you think your success looks like for your product. But it is really nice to have someone who's been there before and get their objective opinion, especially the keyword objective, because from family, usually they're going to say, oh, great job. Good job, Johnny. And you might get some objective feedback and you might not, and the feedback may not come from other business owners. So this is a key thing, is to get that, is managing that uncertainty and then getting that objective advice. And even sometimes, someone who's willing to give you tough advice in a way that, that is helpful and kind of pushes you along in your startup process. The other thing is, having an actionable plan. There are systems at work. You can go read books. They're all out there, and you can go run these systems. But again, it's as I love to say, money loves speed. So you can figure everything out over time. But if you have the right coach, the right mentor, maybe the right advisor, whatever term you want to use there, they're going to get you quicker to those goals. Money loves speed. You're going to really benefit in the long run from having that. And then, really just want to reinforce that accountability. Usually, especially for a lot of first-time founders, no matter the age, even if you're older, it's like family and friends is who you're bouncing your ideas off. And maybe in your circles, you don't have a lot of, entrepreneur friends. And trust me, the mindset is totally different. In fact, this, if you're an entrepreneur and none of your friends are, the conversations are different. These aren't really topics or questions you can bounce off your friends. You're on an island, and that's just part of the deal. So that's something to consider. So too many founders work outside of their expertise. Usually you're a founder, you're excited, you're, in this case, maybe making a physical product and you designed it, and every competitor and all the features of this product and why it's going to work in the market. And then you go to launch it and you have to do all of these other things that are kind of outside of your wheelhouse, and they have to be done. Maybe you don't have the funds to pay for a team to be doing all of these things. But at the same time, there are shortcuts. There are ways to get to product market fit and get to market, and right ways to get there and slower paths to get there. And the slower paths usually involve you doing everything and making mistakes along the way, which is a good learning experience, but that, again, can be sped up by somebody who's already made those mistakes, save you the time. And I'll get into a story later about, in my case, back in 2001, exactly how this happened. And something to think about is that most problems have already been solved. We're all trying to solve quote unquote new problems, but somebody has solved a similar problem, I guarantee you. So with that in mind, that's actually a kind of like a humble viewpoint that you want to take, because it simplifies things. These things have mostly already been solved. Maybe they need to be crafted for a new market, a new generation, a new time frame. And kind of with that approach, it makes it a lot easier to think about your pitch and not see this 20-foot wall that you can't climb over. Okay, these things have been solved. Let's find who solved them, how they did it, and get to that winning solution. The other thing is, a lot of times founders are 80 hours a week, which is not sustainable. Okay, it's kind of a badge that a lot of them want to wear, and you're grinding away. And grinding is definitely part of being an entrepreneur. But personal growth, I think a support network, maybe it's a little bit of an overused term, but having that person there that can kind of, kind of ease your negative thoughts, right? We're always kind of our worst critics. So having somebody next to us and say, you know, you're doing pretty good here, right? Look, you're going to get there. I've seen this before 10 times. You just have to do these 3 things. You know, be patient. Those types of perspectives are incredibly valuable. Trust me, because you know, sometimes you can feel like you're just going crazy when you're working so many hours, you're sleep deprived, you're not feeling good, you're not healthy. In fact, you need someone to tell you and maybe even guide you and keep you healthy along the way, because you know, human body, you can't maintain that for too long of a time. And so the question is a startup coach worthless or a requirement? Obviously, most people go without a coach, so it can definitely be done, and it's probably worthless if you have the wrong coach. You know, I joke around like a lot of coaches are sort of more therapists. They actually haven't been in the same shoes you've been in. They haven't been in the grind. They haven't been in the trenches of business war, starting out something from scratch. You're literally like, you're an artist. You're building something from nothing. A lot of folks, unfortunately, they don't understand that, because they kind of more on the life coach or therapist side, and probably that's not going to be that valuable. But if you find somebody who's seasoned and somebody who has done all of these things and made all of these mistakes, to me, I think it's invaluable. I'll tell you a quick story. When I started out, I had a business earlier, a swimming pool business, so I knew how to work hard, and I grew up in the donut shop. But then after I graduated college, I was a hazardous waste scientist, and I was working away. And you know, quick story, I saw my little brother on an online business making tons of money, driving a nice car while I'm driving a 3-seat Toyota truck, just the front bench, stick shift, through Los Angeles traffic for an hour and a half each way every day. And I'm like, wait, I'm doing something wrong. I got, you know, my degree, and I'm working this, you know, job, and he's doing way better than I am. And anyways, that's kind of, I started out in business, right? And my first time when we're ordering product, I'm calling up Grainger, a huge supplier, Grainger, and I'm telling them, okay, I think I want to sell these, because I looked online and I saw there was a lot of demand for them, and portable air conditioners at the time. And they said, okay, send me a PO. And I thought, like, what's a PO? Okay, that's how ignorant I was at the time, how naive I was. So I can tell, and there's a million more situations that I had to learn on my own, and it took me, you know, 20 years until I was able to sell the company, which is, you know, it was incredible. It was a great exit, but the point is that could have been sped up much quicker had I had the business acumen and some help along the way. And at the end, when I went through the sale process and leading up to the sale process, I had multiple coaches on sales, strategy, and then the deal. You know, even outside of my bankers, I had a coach who helped me through with the deal, who was just only on protecting the seller in this situation. So that's a personal story, and there's a lot more on the website, surflab.co. So again, if you're a founder, those are the things to consider. I always think that money loves speed. You want to get there as quickly as you can. You want to eliminate the mistakes. Most of these problems have already been solved for. So a coach would make sense if the budget is there for it. Thanks, take care, and hope you all subscribe.